Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Toonkind at 12 frames per second. Uh, this is The Shadows of Who Raised Us. I'm Kraken. I'm playing local stupid wizard man Craigory Danthew. With me today,
I am the jazziest AAA battery this side of the county line, or just Jazz for short. I will be playing Gray, no last name, who's acquired a few more animal friends since last time. But
yeah, he's been
he's,
busy.
I mean, it's the way I built his character for the specific purpose.
He's doing
But at the moment,
excellently at
instead
it.
of animal friends, he's helping, just a toon guy friend instead.
Gray just collects friends, all shapes, all types, all sizes.
Yes.
Friend-shaped little boy.
But
And
yes,
on
uh,
that note, uh, Gray did receive a sort of summons from a particular wizard. Just, it was a little rambly in the letter, honestly, because this is Craigory, but the TLDR is, hey, do you want to just accompany, do you want to come to the woods? Just walk with me? The letter is very unclear as per this wizard's, everything.
um,
There is a time and a place, though.
despite the lack of clarity, at the question, do you want to just go wander around in the woods for a bit? Gray is definitely on top of that. So, it definitely shows up. Time and place is honestly probably early because good etiquette.
Good etiquette, the politest boy.
um,
Uh,
but yeah.
on the flip side, Craigory's a little late.
Gray doesn't mind.
um,
But I will say that since you have last seen him, Gray has a bird that he just kind of has that he's talking to and feeding. Uh, so that's new. Nibbles is also here. Nibbles is his companion. He's always out. But I actually didn't have this pulled up, but I can grab an image real fast of what this bird approximately looks like. Uh, Burb.
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 Borb.
So he's talking to the burb.
Alrighty. Uh, being a little late and really not wanting to be, uh, Craigory runs up. I feel like this is kind of the edge of Toontown. Just right where it borders into, yeah, the woods. You're just like, okay, hi, sorry, things got caught up. Boomer, there was a boom. It's fine. Hi, what? Oh,
Hello, Mr. Craigory.
hi, Gray. New friend? Points at the bird.
um, and his eyes kind of light up and get all sparkly. He's like, "Yeah, I bought this one from Mixed Clips a while ago, and I got one to say. They don't have a name yet. I'm still thinking. Do you have any ideas? I'm not good with names.
Uh, Craigory just kind of looks at this bird. He probably isn't good with names either. He's never had a pet. He's never had to name anything.
I will say Gray is sort of. I don't want to just say being polite because, like, he is genuinely asking for Craigory's input.
Yeah.
Because Craigory's his friend, and he's like, "Oh, I can help. Friend help."
Yeah, he's got nothing. Shrugs. Well, you'll come up with something.
Mm. Yeah, okay. And at that, the bird probably just. I was gonna say perches on his shoulder, but then I remembered how big Starly is, so
How big is Starly?
uh, Starly is. I don't have the exact height, but it's a foot. It's Borb, big Borb.
I mean, A foot? Pip is a foot and a half. He can have Pip on his shoulder at all times.
The bird probably perches on Nibbles.
There we go.
For now. Because Nibbles is much bigger. Nibbles can hold him.
Craigory also says hi to Nibbles. It just has to be said.
Of course. Nibbles probably rubs their head against Craigory. Acknowledgement.
Yeah, there's a little like pat on the head.
Good to pat instead of, rub rough skin, hurt scales. But
Nibbles is sputtery smooth no matter which way you pet.
Can we don't
Yeah.
can we don't do this one?
Yeah.
I've had enough of the sharks are smooth toast.
But Craigory's gonna start just leading the way into the woods.
Gray is following after. Because Craigory was the one who had an idea of where they're going.
Yep. Yeah, so just today there's a lake nearby that it should have a sort of ingredient I need for a thing I'm trying to do. But I figure, why go alone? Why go alone? Why not just take a buddy? And you it sounded like you're a ranger, things and stuff, and I haven't seen it in a while. So yeah, that's that. Craigory is now rolling a survival to know where the hell he's going. He notably does not have a map.
Oh boy.
He did not bring a map.
What a great idea.
Well, that did not save him.
Gray does, as Craigory, after Craigory finishes his spiel, he does go,
Oh, that's a good idea. Great to not go alone. Are you sure you know where this is?
because I'm assuming with an 8, he's a little visibly confused.
Yeah. He walked into the woods with a purpose to step, and then they're in there, and hell, he's already gotten a bit turned around. He thought maybe this was exclusive to just having maps, so he didn't bring one. Yeah, I mean, we'll get there eventually, it's fine. I never used maps when I was little, and I always made it where I needed to go, so it's like riding a bike, probably. Figure it out. This way. He's gonna pick a direction.
Okay.
Gray, who is actually good. I don't want to say Craigory's a bad navigator, but also the Rangers have their thing.
They do, so Gray can also roll survival / ask for more information.
He is probably going to ask for information first.
Where exactly did you say the lake was? And, do you know any landmarks along the way as well?
Okay, so the lake is supposed to be west. It is called the... Yes, think from what it's called the Lake of Fury, and it does have a waterfall, so we should be able to hear it. And yeah, okay. Landmark should be a big old boulder that apparently looks like a face.
His eyes do sparkle at the mention of a waterfall. I want to mention that. But he takes that in mind and his survival is 18.
Hell yeah, much better.
Ranger.
Well, Grace certainly knows which direction is west. So first of all...
Are they turning around?
Yes. Complete 180.
You said west, right?
Yeah.
it's that way then. Cause of the sun.
Craigory just turns around and does not argue. he he knows Gray is a ranger. Listen, Gray probably knows better.
But I think Gray probably would yield to let Craigory take the lead still. Because this is Craigory's expedition, not his.
Oh.
And of course, Nibbles and his currently unnamed bird are following behind.
Sorry, did you say he was falling behind, or?
I think my mic's a bit too far away. Hold on. Let's try this out. Gray yields to Craigory to follow behind him because, like I said, it's Craigory's expedition, not his. And then you have Nibbles and the currently unnamed bird following behind him.
It's a whole train. So they troop on, and Craigory at first doesn't quite seem to know what to say. Like, he expressly invited you, and yet he's just kind of here. Sweating. He's just like, I didn't think this through. Does he ever think anything through? So
Gray, I think Gray would try to do small talk things, and he would ask,
How have you been, Mr. Craigory?
it's been interesting. I've been interesting. You know, Toontown, things always happening.
Oh, I missed that.
He just kind of said, you know, things are always happening. Didn't much elaborate.
How so?
Yeah, I had a friend get into some trouble and got him out of it, you know. What about you? Anything exciting? I mean,
I made a new friend. Sort of. We're trying. I'm trying. He's very angry, but I'm still trying.
Is this like a person or an animal?
His name is Mr. Contra, and he has a wolf friend that follows him named Ottawa.
Oh, well, good luck
Super
on that.
excited. Honestly, if Craigory stays silent, he'll probably start rambling about his time with Contra and how that went. He's excited. He's excited.
Gray's excited for a new friend.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. You know, I think he lets him because Gray's just sheer enthusiasm is shining through. Runs through the whole adventure with that FPS.
Yeah. It's honestly probably a bad question, but a question I feel like I should ask. How does Craigory feel about Gray's mention of the bootleg Find Familiar whistle? If you listen to the FPS, I feel like I should ask that first.
I have. I was there. I was grocery shopping. Listening to it.
I didn't know if you were in and out or not, but
yeah. It's just like,
how does Craigory feel about the bootleg Find Familiar whistle?
Excellent question. It's Karen time.
I just see immediately start spilling off about magic items and their proper.
Yeah. It's just like, okay, but it shouldn't be that hard to make one that works properly. You just, you know, properly imbue it. Like, where did this person get this? Was it? Oh my god.
I don't know.
Do you think it was from Foo?
I don't know.
Bet it was from Foo.
It's smashed now. Probably for the best.
Probably. Like, I could do a better job than that. I bet I could do a better job than that. Maybe I should make
Gray
one
giggles
next.
at that a bit. Not like mean-spirited, but he's
Because, I mean, if you're going to do something, you should at least do it properly, and it's not even that hard. I've made way harder stuff. I mean, like, it's just it's integrity. His hands are waving in the air.
Yeah,
Going off.
Gray's absolutely laughing at Gregory's spiel. Again, not mean-spirited. He's happy to see Gregory this.
Yeah.
Like, into something.
Animated, indignant. It's like, I mean, geez, if I made something that didn't function like that, I don't know, I would just have to keep on doing it until I got it right. That was just how it worked growing up. You get it right, or you eventually get it right. You have to.
I mean, you're allowed to make mistakes, you know? But, selling them probably isn't very good.
Yeah, no. Because it's one thing to just, like, you know, be learning this kind of stuff and mess up a bit. Like, selling it, that's a whole other thing. That's just, you know, it's whatchamacallit. It's unethical. That word. That thing. Hold on.
That's what I
Brain
was gonna say,
loading.
and I lost it.
Both of us brain loading.
Windows error noise.
So, anyway, Craigory has worked himself up. He's going to try and
He's
calm
going to attempt
down
to
a
talk
bit.
himself.
Yeah. It's like, so, Gray,
Yeah?
not gonna lie, one of the reasons I just sort of asked you out here was, like, it sounds like you know the woods and stuff.
Yeah.
But, like, not here, right? It was a island?
No. So, I grew up on Jodos. You know where that is. But, if you weren't, Pokemon, you technically weren't allowed on the island. So, I grew up, there was like this back room of a church area. And sometimes I would go out into the woods and just kind of explore. Not much else to do. Kind of a small island.
And
Yeah.
he's saying this. He's decently nonchalant about it. You know, he doesn't really have a frame of reference.
Yeah, I think Craigory will do an insight on that, just because, like,
No, you can't. He's not rolling deception of any kind.
Yeah.
He's just,
He's still
12.
squinting. Yep, toe to tip, that's a Gray just being Gray.
If you notice, is Gregory looking at him with the scrutiny.
Well, it probably wasn't the best, but you know, not like I could leave the island as a baby.
Yeah.
I had someone to take care of me though.
Yeah, that, Soul?
Yeah. I call him Soul because when I was really, really small, I couldn't say his full name, which is Solantinum is his name. He took care of me. It was nice. And sometimes he'd bring me books from the library part. I would read them. He taught me how to read and write.
Yeah.
And he taught me things about the woods around, and he let me keep Nibbles when I found him, and he kept following me and fighting. Didn't hurt that much though.
Just teething, huh?
Yeah, I guess.
Hmm.
I don't know. Neville still does that.
And that
Neville's just like chewing things in general.
and he's going to roll hammer space at the moment. So he gets it. He takes out a rubber duck he got from Glorps, and Nibble's eyes immediately light up. And Gray tosses it, Nibbles catches it out of the air, and now you have Nibbles chewing on the squeaking duck.
Squeak, squeak, squeak.
Yep. Nibbles is stoked.
Rest of the FPS just like background squeak, 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 squeak.
The bird is also confused by the squeaking. So now you have the bird kind of circling around.
Yeah.
It's I don't know if you call Nibbles a pet, but yeah. I don't know. I wasn't allowed to keep pets, so that's it's good for you.
That's lame. It's
Yeah.
only animal to make friends with.
Yeah, you know what? It was lame. It's a lot of it lame. But I think Craigory's just gonna do another survival because they've been going this direction a while.
Yep.
Does he see anything? Not really. This sure is the woods, my dude.
Also roll. 15 from me.
Mm-hmm. I think Craigory is just doing a quick 360. He'd mentioned that like particular rock is a landmark.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't see anything.
Does Gray notice it?
I'm thinking, yeah, Gray through a break in the trees. Yeah, sees something that looks like it's pretty big.
Then
Looking like it might just be that.
Mr. Craigory, is that the boulder you mentioned?
And he points it upwards.
Takes a few steps forward, knocks aside some foliage, and aha. Yep, that looks like it. It matches the book's description. So there we go. There we go. So from here, it's we hang a left.
All right.
So yeah, the good news is this. Yeah. Thanks for coming. This is definitely going faster than if I'd just gone it alone. Probably. I mean, even when I was little, like, you know, I didn't use maps for anything because something quote paraphrase, maps are for suckers, and
That doesn't make sense. All navigation is just making a map of the land in your head.
yeah, see, you make it in your head. You do things enough
Yeah,
times
but
and
if
you know.
Yeah, but memory is fallible. If I'm on paper, then you can follow it at any point.
Yeah, but if you can't trust your like head, then what's the point? You know, my memory should be enough. So maybe it took like 3 days for me sometimes to go to a place and then come back.
Yeah, but that's not. Why would you make things harder for yourself like that?
I don't know why they wanted it that way. It just kind of it was. I don't know. I didn't question it. So just sometimes you were out for 3 nights in a row until you made it back, and if you didn't, then just kept on trying until you did. It was fine.
That's not good. Why would you leave someone just stranded like that?
Learning.
That's not how you teach someone.
I mean, I'm still around, you know. It's,
That doesn't make it any better.
I think
You happen to look out.
maybe, but, you know, I think Gray can see Craigory's getting kind of flustered.
I mean, Grace too, because hey, you just don't leave someone in the woods like that. What the hell?
Yeah, and Craigory's not mentioning how old he was either.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, just you learn to live independently, and when there's just two people in the woods and the other person's, you know, off doing other important things, then it's just you. I had to know and figure it out.
Yeah, but you should be allowed that amount of dependency. No one needs to be alone like that.
Well, yeah, but there's that, and then there's being a burden. So, you know,
The existence is a burden. You're allowed to lean on others. That's kind of the point.
Craigory's face just broadcasts doubt.
Gray is doubling down. Like,
The whole point of just being alive is dissociating with others. If you're alone for too long, you go insane.
I mean, might explain a few things, but
That's not good.
not about me. Like, I've been fine. I
The
am
point was that
perfectly well adjusted.
mm. God. When you say that is the problem.
I'm curious now.
Roll insight.
Oh boy. God.
No.
Do I?
You don't get it.
Do I use
actually,
the
you know what?
pendant?
Oh god, you
We both have the pendant, motherfucker.
I didn't know yours was on the 20 side though.
You know what? For funsies, and because I just abuse this thing all the time. Yeah, nat 20 insight. What do I get?
So Gregory goes, he's perfectly well adjusted, and Gray, because you use the pendant to get the nat 20, very clearly thinking, not from what I've seen. Because to be fair, the things Gray has taken Gregory for are Tangled Strings 1 and 2, which were angst and especially involving Gregory's relationship with Lynn, and the mall, where Gregory didn't exactly do too hot, especially with the fanboy.
Gray's just seen this wizard at Disaster Central.
So when Gregory goes, I'm perfectly well adjusted, Gray's kind of just going X to doubt.
It's like, okay, no, don't look at me with that tone of voice. It's...
You don't always make the best decisions.
You've met me twice? He isn't exactly denying it. I don't think he can.
And that's the fact that I've been able to gather that from only seeing you twice.
Well, decisions don't, it's heat of the moment, whatever. He doesn't quite have a comeback. He knows damn well he's made some dumb, stupid mistakes.
And you're allowed to make mistakes. You shouldn't. If someone else should be there to help you.
Well,
I mean, at that point, you'd definitely be making less mistakes if you were taught properly instead of having to fend for yourself from nothing.
the whole point of that was I should I should be able to. Because I can't rely, shouldn't have to rely on people.
Why not?
Because it'll be too much and then they'll go, all right? So.
But that. Huh?
Like, you've genuinely confused Gray right now.
Craigory's just marching onward.
No, you answer me. What do you mean too much?
Me, the person in this hypothetical whatever. It'll be too much trouble to keep, holding their hand in whatever, and then it's just not worth it anymore. So you leave them behind.
Why?
I don't know.
If you care about someone, then why wouldn't you want them with you?
Well, Occam's razor, they never cared in the first place, did they? Wow, I did not ask you out here to argue with you. This is, I'm sorry.
No, don't apologize. It doesn't seem like you've talked about this a lot, so it's alright.
Yeah, but it doesn't deserve to be your problem.
We're friends, that's the point.
Maybe,
You talk to people you care about, so so the burden is lessened. That's the point.
I guess. I don't know. Sure, friends are a recent thing, so. I guess. I don't know. Anything you want to get off your chest then? We just gonna flip this around? This is how it works?
I don't really have much. I would, consider to be fair, but, I mean,
Well, I mean, don't push yourself to find something then. I guess.
I just want to say that it's alright if you don't know. Because, of course, it's impossible to know what you don't know.
True that. So, sorry.
But it's easier
again.
to learn. Don't. It's all right. But just for future reference. I mean, it's impossible to know what you don't know, but it's easier to learn if you have someone else to teach you. That's what teachers are for.
Well, then it sounds like you had a better one. So. job on that.
Gray is trying to reassure Craigory at this point. He comes up close. He's probably walking side by side at the moment.
Yeah.
Gray just look up with like the sincere smile on his face. He's fine. He promises. He means it.
Well, if things do come up for you, then Mikasa Sukasa on this. That's not quite the right phrasing. Point is, offers extended the other way too, because we're friends. So.
Yeah.
Just to be clear.
Gray gives a satisfied nod at that. And this, I will ask about, are we at the destination?
I think we are, yeah. I think Gray, just because he's been doing so much better at all this, predictably. Gray hears it first. The sound of rushing, falling water.
He immediately perks up and starts running almost.
Come on, I can hear it.
Okay. Craigory runs after. Does not want to lose him in the woods.
I'll say, if you let me, despite, Gray's whole, like, suit thing, he seems to be extremely agile in navigating all this brush and undergrowth.
Nice.
For most people, you wouldn't think they'd be able to move like that in formal wear. Especially from the knowledge Craigory has.
Yeah. And Craigory's moving pretty well, too. For all that has, like, just the worst spatial conception. He still grew up in woods, so he's moving just fine as well. He's keeping pace easily.
Alright. I imagine we'll emerge near, like, a lake bed.
Yep.
You said there was a waterfall, so are we on the above or below, like, areas?
I think for fun, we hit the sort of creek or river that feeds the waterfall, and we're now just kind of on the edge of it. We're now looking out over this lake beside the waterfall.
Gray kind of goes starry-eyed. He's super stoked. But before he does anything, he does ask Craigory,
What exactly is it you're looking for again?
Right. So it's a particular type of striped lakeweed. It does grow in particular areas. This was just the closest lake that looked like it would have the conditions. And, okay, full disclosure, it's at the bottom of all that. He points directly at the lake. So, I at least will be swimming.
Gray looks excited.
We get to jump down the waterfall?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I haven't done this in a long time.
Yeah, me neither.
And he immediately starts taking off the various layers of his suit. So jacket, vest, shirt. Like he's wearing a full-on suit.
3-piece ready to go to the fanciest places. And yeah, Craigory's also, boots off, suspenders off, shirt going. These boys are going swimming.
Yeah. But of course, he probably takes Gray longer just because he's got all the button-up layers and everything.
Does he fold everything up very carefully and set it aside very neatly?
What he does fold it up. He does fold it up, but he puts it in his satchel, which is of course part of his hammer space. But he lays it all very neatly and then puts it into his satchel, and then he gives it to Nibbles, and the currently unnamed bird. Actually, hold on. Actually, he gives it to the bird specifically, and use one of those speak with animals because Frank and Ollie, to ask the bird to fly it down to the bank.
Smart.
But before he does, he also asks Craigory if he wants his clothes taken down as well.
I think as he asked that, Craigory had like one boot half shoved in hammer space, which is normally up his sleeves, but is now just behind his back like a magician. So just pauses and goes, yeah, you know what? That's a better idea. He'll take Gray up on the offer.
And Bird's kind of excited to be able to do this. So he takes Craigory's clothes as he's still probably working at like the final undershirt he has. And he takes off the shirt, and of course this is when Craigory finally gets to notice that as he puts the clothes in the bag, his back is covered in this sprawling jet black tattoo.
I think his eyebrows just
kind
go
of
up.
wing shape on like the back of his shoulders, and it has a bit that runs down his spine and then branches out into 3 strips on each side that come around like the bottom of his rib cage and end in points on his stomach.
Eyebrows go up. Possibly just like leave the head entirely.
Gray's still packing the clothes up at the moment. He pats the bird.
You'll do great.
And he looks over the edge and is like,
right around there. Should be alright.
Salutes with one wing, and starts flying down with Gray's bag. And Gray turns around, notices Craigory.
It's like, what? What's wrong?
Okay, nothing wrong. Just surprised. That's a very big tattoo. Does it mean anything?
Oh, the tattoo. Right. Soul did it. It keeps me safe, sort of. See, because I was out in the woods, I ran the risk of being discovered by other Pokemon a lot more often. But he didn't want to keep me locked in the same small room like my entire life. So he offered that he could give me something that with his magic that would keep me safer, especially traveling at night. But he said it would hurt a lot, and it sort of did, but I trusted him, so I went with it. And now I have the funky tattoo, and I don't know. It's nice to have. Reminds me of him.
Cray's expression is still low. You mentioned his magic. He's doing an Arcana check. He's just like, okay.
The 19. So what this is? Do I want to have this? What it is load it. It uses the stat block for the Shadowfell brand tattoo. Even because of our current campaign setting, it's not like Gray is actually branded with the Shadowfell. But it is very clearly shadowy, dark magic almost. Not almost, it is. And when I say shadow, I mean literal shadows. Like, just pure darkness. And as you're doing that Arcana check, you can clearly see the ink on his body. It sort of moves and shifts, and the shapes don't quite stay consistent the entire time.
Huh. I think it's just kind of inadvertently ended up leaning down to get a closer look. She's like, okay, so this hides you from Pokemoning?
Well, hides in general, actually.
Okay,
Um,
interesting.
And I think he's not gonna use it fully, but he does demonstrate where he you can see the tattoo. It sort of spreads around his body, but not like entirely. But it does like grow a bit, and you can see his skin start to get ever so slightly like the same kind of shadowy, not quite see through, but he shifts just a bit, darker, and it blends him in with dark, like shadowy areas.
Huh.
see, it's much harder to see at night, so I could go out then
No kidding.
and be safer.
Huh. Okay, so it's, yeah, like a camouflage.
Well, I mean, it mostly just turns you dark.
Interesting. Did you ever end up meeting Lynn's kid, Rye?
No,
You may
I
want
didn't.
to. I feel like this could be really interesting for him.
Okay.
But yeah, wow. I would not have trusted my Dama to do that sort of thing to me. So, wow.
Apparently there's other, I saw you can sort of get magic tattoos, but this one, was big.
Yeah, yeah. You mentioned it hurt. Jeez. And like that's like right on the bones
Not
too.
as bad. Not as bad.
Like
Since,
as
I
bad
know,
as what?
since I knew that, he was trying to keep me safe and he was being nice, and he's good at magic, so it probably hurt less than it would have. I had to get it
Still,
in section.
big leap of faith.
I mean, he hadn't hurt me before, so I figured I could ask him to do that as well.
And he once again gives like a reassuring smile because he likes Soul. He cares.
Um,
Well, all right. I don't know. Last one in's a rotten egg.
Gray is immediately smiling, and he already took off. He's super stoked about this. He loves this. He runs over towards just in front of the waterfall and just dives in.
Yeah. Yep, Craiger Grin shakes his head, backs up a bit, and he does a run for it. He doesn't do a dive, he just does a cannonball. Big sploosh. Oh. Okay, Gray?
He's So I have a question. Are you saying we both did Gregory just like jump off the cliff, or
Yeah.
Okay, no, Gray dove in front of the waterfall and let himself get like thrown by the running water.
Okay, you know what? That's good.
So you have Gregory who ran off the cliff and Gray falling. Definitely, I can't do the scream, but he's absolutely like screaming of joy as he tumbles
Oh, excellent.
down the water. Probably makes a decent sized splash, even though he's small, because that height.
Yep. It's a decent sized waterfall.
It takes him a hot second to resurface because, again, jumping from that height, but he comes back up. And he's laughing as he resurfaces.
I love doing that.
Well, hey, day's still early. no one's saying we have to leave immediately. Once I see if what I'm looking for is here. Speaking of, he takes a deep breath and just sort of ducks just a little under the water to have a look around. He's gonna do a... All right, 17 pops back up. Okay, so what I'm looking for here is the deepest part of the lake. This isn't quite it. It's going to be more this way. Start swimming out.
Okay.
And he follows after because, you know, this is what Craigory's looking for.
Mm-hmm. It's like,
I do want to see if I can roll, I meant to do this earlier, but I forgot. If Gray can roll nature to try and see if he knows roughly what Craigory's talking about.
Hell yeah, he does.
So, it's he's gonna remember. But Gray ponders for a moment. He's,
Oh, I think I know. I think I know what you're talking about now. It took me a second to remember.
Yeah.
Gray, he also dives under. Like, now that he knows what he's looking for, he's going.
Yeah. Between the 17 and the 20, it's pretty short work for these two to basically triangulate, the deepest part of the lake, which means they can't quite see the bottom, but this sure is it. Just like, okay. So, I figure maybe one of us dives at a time. I'm just gonna try and get to the bottom and yank some up. I don't need much. The funny thing is, I'm trying to get this for like a water breathing potion, so ha.
Oh. Alright.
I don't know, or you can dive. I don't know. I didn't have much of a plan. I just kind of wanted it, so.
Gregory mentioning he didn't have much of a plan. Gray's eyes just ever so slightly, he starts to squint. Then he rolls his eyes.
Well, best way to go is to swim at the moment.
Yep.
And he, once again, he dives under and, he's just going straight down.
Figure. I'm like, for trying to swim to the bottom, I'm trying to figure, is that like a strength or is that a constitution?
It's athletics. It's constitution to hold your breath, and I think like athletics to swim in general. But Gray doesn't have the best. Gray doesn't have the best athletics, but you know, at least if I'm remembering that right. Since this is more breath holding, I'll go for con, I think.
Yeah. And Craigory's gonna follow con all around.
Also isn't the best, but 11, not the best. Craigory gets deeper than he is, which makes sense. He's 12. Gregory's like an adult.
Adult, better lung capacity. He's done exactly this sort of thing before.
Gray hasn't done it too often, so.
Gray makes it ways and probably like either sees or feels Craigory just whoosh, past.
Yeah, and he goes back up to the top to check for breath. He looks over to where you left their stuff, and you've got Nibbles and the bird are currently, vibing over there.
Having a fun splash time at the edge?
Yeah.
Hey, Gray, roll perception.
Oh boy. It is time. 12, is that good enough?
Not quite.
Not quite? Oh boy. Wait, question.
Mm-hmm.
Is this using, the stat block? I think it is.
Probably.
The stat block I have pulled up is a beast. So I think Gray gets the Gray gets a
bonus. Yeah, huge beast.
I have to check though. It's survival for that. Um, he doesn't get the number bonus, but I do have. Yeah. Does he at least tick that there's something up?
I think with the 12, Gray doesn't
12.
see anything with his eyeballs,
Mhm.
but
Because he's spent so much time around animals in general.
A, so much time around animals in general, something's up. B, it just feels like something huge has shifted in the water.
Yeah. Uh, and that he's. Let's see. I'm going to make a history check to see if Gray knows anything about this lake and what inhabits it. Because he does get the bonus to that. He gets advantage on intelligence checks to recall information about your favorite enemy. So I think that's a 20. So just what does Gray remember about this lake?
Well,
A giant angry beast that lives within it.
you know, Lake of Fury. Some sort of giant, angry lizard fish sort of thing lives in this lake. Apparently, according to a book. Maybe according to multiple books.
So Gray feels the shift. He's like, wait, I know this lake. Wait, I know this lake. And is immediately trying to get Craigory's attention, so he dives down, tries to actually check a spell thing. Okay. If you'll let me, Somaturgy, one of the things it can do is cause a sudden sound to originate nearby, within the range of 30 feet. So, can he dive under the water, use Somaturgy to just like make a noise where next to where he sees Craigory to get his attention?
Yeah, and you know what? Like water, sound travels well underwater, right? So I'm gonna say the range goes even further.
Yeah. So yeah, he uses Thaumaturgy. It's just like probably just like a crack noise or something, because it's just trying to get his attention to look up.
Yep. So yeah, that happens. I'd say Craigory looks up. That got his attention. It also got something else's attention.
Yeah, that's what I was worried about. But Gray is motioning to Craigory to come back above the water.
Well, he was starting to run out of breath anyway, so I think kicks off the bottom, and let's have a look at the stat block again.
Hold on. This is the one I have pulled up. If you're using a different one, that's fine. But I figured I would share it to you real fast.
Yeah, that's the bitch.
Okay. Oh boy.
So seeing that it has a stealth advantage, I think I'm just gonna roll that quick to see if Craigory notices it before he hits the surface. He does not.
Oh boy.
Craigory sees nothing. He's just like, oh, great, okay. So with that, Gray, you've sensed that there's something in here. Do you want to roll a perception to see if you spot this thing with your eyeballs?
Yeah. Can I argue survival? Because beast bonuses and whatever.
Beast bonuses.
Yeah. He gets advantage on that. God. What is... Oh, it is a 7. So it's an 18.
Yeah, he sure does.
Okay.
Something
So for those of
big,
you listening
long.
in and don't know, so the name of this lake is the Lake of Fury, and if you don't know, in Pokemon, there's a particular lake with a very large, blood red sea monster that resides in it.
You know. That.
Yep. So, we've got a giant sea serpent, a very angry one, rising out of the water.
Yup. Gray sure sees it, Craigory does not. Is Gray gonna do anything about this?
Yeah. To check his spells once more. I have so many tabs open. Which one is...
I'm just gonna
I don't remember which one
quickly...
comes first.
Boy, yeah, that sure does.
So the first thing he's going to do is cast Animal Friendship. So that's a whiz save for the creature.
Yeah, huh?
Flat d20 looks like.
Yep.
Oop. Alright.
Oop. Step 1, fail.
No, that's fine. He has more slots. But that was his immediate reaction.
Oh. I want to say in the...
This thing's angry. It'll take a sec.
This thing's angry, and in the mini initiative this sets up, it's heading straight for Wizard, because Wizard is closest.
Oh boy.
Misses? Jesus Christ. That was a nat 1. So, congrats, Gray. You tried to fire off the spell at it, and didn't work, but got its attention, confused it enough to miss the bite it was going for at Wizard.
I'm assuming at this point Craigory notices the giant blood red sea serpent.
Yes. He notices the serpent, which just missed trying to take a bite out of him, is now panicking, is now, yeah, swimming harder for the surface, because what the hell? And, thanks. Now, unofficially, Craigory's turn.
Gray does, like, shout,
Calm down.
and,
Come over here.
like, he doesn't want, Craigory to attack it at the moment.
That's really unfortunate, because Craigory's first instinct, even though this thing is huge, is to attack.
Don't hit it.
Like, and because, you know, reaction.
Yeah.
Does that get through to Craigory is the question, when he shouts, don't hit it.
I'm gonna have to do a whiz save on that.
Oh boy.
No, no!
No!
Another fucking that one. Yeah, Craigory does not hear that. His mind is full of holy shit. So, it's Ice Knife time.
Oh god. Well, there goes that ranger ability.
Oh. Right, because is it being attacked after it's cast, or just attacked at all?
Animal Friendship fails, or it, like, dismisses if the creature gets attacked. But there's another ranger ability where you can just straight up communicate with beasts, but it only works if you haven't harmed it within the last 10 minutes. So, it's not... Before Craigory's turn, Gray didn't technically harm it. So, he was going to try to do that, but now Craigory's iced.
Okay, I thought it was like... It was like, once a spell is cast, if you harm it after things go to hell.
No. No.
So, you know, I'm gonna give I want
The
this to
spell
happen,
fails.
so Craigory gets an advantage on his whiz save.
Because
Please, my boy.
because the spell failed, then the damage doesn't do anything because the spell wasn't active in the first place. But there's a different ranger ability that's just you can communicate with X favored creature and convince it you mean it no harm, and through gestures or whatever you're able to figure out how it's feeling and everything.
It just needs to have been unharmed in the last, like, 10 minutes.
You cannot use this ability against a creature you have attacked within the past 10 minutes. So, like, if you're ice knifing, Grace can still use his spells.
We just
but...
need to wait a tad. So we'll see if he even hits.
Yeah. You go for the ice knife.
9 against... Alright, so the initial fling misses. We'll see if the secondary bit of ice knife... Alright. Knife then explodes. We'll see if it succeeds on a dexterity saving throw.
What does it explode on? I'm curious. Does it just hit its natural armor?
I think... Yeah, like... Knife hits the scales, but doesn't actually, get through them.
Alright.
This spell does nothing. Knife hits the scales, just explodes, and even that is not enough to...
The ice shards go underwater and go in random directions and start dissolving.
Yeah. Nothing fucking happens. This is completely ineffectual. This thing knows that Craigory's tried to attack it, but no damage has been taken. So call that loophole what you will.
Does this put it back to Gray?
Yes, it does. I think Craigory's going to use the rest of his move just to hit the surface and go, oh my god, great. Edge of now. It's getting out here now. Oh my god.
I tried to call you out. I tried to call you over.
Yeah, you did. You didn't mention there was a...
What was I supposed to do?
I don't know.
What? Gray does use the ranger ability to try and communicate with the, for legal reasons, not Gyarados, but giant sea serpent. Through sounds and gestures and can read its basic mood and intent. I'm assuming the basic mood and intent is angy and territorial.
Yes.
Okay. But he's still, because thank God the ice knife didn't do anything. He tries to tell him we mean no harm, but they're not quite, I'd imagine they're not quite convinced because they did try to get stabbed with an ice knife.
There was an attempt. Yeah.
Yeah, the intent was there, so they're still angry. But Gray knows that, and go for let's see. I can hear you. Go for another whiz save. Because he has the slots to be able to do it. That one fails.
Hell yeah.
Animal friendship. It is now charmed. It can't attack the charmer or target it with the harmful abilities or magical effects. And that's all he can do for now because of action economy. But it is now charmed. So Gray once again shouts to Craigory,
please don't attack it. I can do this.
If you're sure, he's still swimming to put himself in between Gray and said giant red sea serpent. X to doubt. Not necessarily Gray's abilities, but just doubt.
Gray doesn't move, by the way. He continues where he is in the lake so that he's closer to the thing than Craigory is, I think.
Hmm.
So the thing is, that's his turn again. Because Nibbles is on the shoreline. Can't really do much at the moment. Not the best swimmer, either. But animal friendship has worked. So it's its turn as it is charmed.
Uh-huh. I think just kind of eyes narrowed is sort of has fully lifted head out of the lake. You can now see how big this thing is, and is just leaning down to, generally investigate this being that has entered the lake and is now its friend. Sniff, sniff.
So it doesn't attack this turn then?
Well, it's charmed. Gray's friend-shaped. I want to say it's doing, like, quote-unquote an investigation just because -4 is a funny fucking modifier. I don't know what it's looking for.
Beast. Gray's definitely non-threatening, I'll say that much. Because even with a -4, that's a 15.
This sea
Gray really
serpent
doesn't
has
mean no harm.
concluded the small little thing is friend-shaped.
Gray really does mean no harm. How about you, Craigory? The giant sea serpent has just stopped in front of Gray's face.
Yeah, it's uncomfortably close for Craigory's blood pressure. But doesn't want to do anything that may make it change its mind. But it's just swimming slowly closer to Gray. He doesn't know what he can do against it if it decides it is just going to chomp. Do something. Just like, Gray, if things are all good, maybe we should back up towards the shore.
And if Craigory doesn't do anything, then it's him in our little mini initiative.
Mm-hmm.
And Gray's going to use one more spell slot to cast Beast Bond. Because the serpent is currently charmed, Gray, this is a touch spell, so we get to do the funky thing. So Gray literally reaches up and touches the sea serpent, and uses Beast Bond, which creates a telepathic link with the creature for 10 minutes, where they can communicate with each other, and the beast can communicate back telepathic messages, but because, it's a beast with low intelligence, it's simple emotions and concepts instead of speech, but Gray is able to absolutely and completely communicate that Gray means zero harm, honestly just thinks is neat. And if the creature would be willing to come with him, because he's got a bunch of, because Gray can communicate back that he's got a bunch of animal friends that he takes care of and that come with him on his little adventures. So if the creature would be willing, come with.
The creature appears to seriously consider this. And again, not really any full sentences because beast and low intelligence -4, my beloved. But the concept Gray kind of gets in response is lonely.
At that, Gray once again fires back images and concepts of all the other creatures he's got with him, and also swims sort of to the side and points to the shoreline where he's got Nibbles and the little bird that's nearby. And they both kind of they actually like perk up, especially Nibbles. Nibbles has seen this before. Gray makes friends with animals. It's his thing. So Nibbles honestly probably is like waving a little bit.
The sea serpent gives like throws a skeptical glance Craigory's way, but swims to the shore to, again, just sort of investigate these new potential ally, friend, companions.
Mhm.
Once again, big ol' sniffer.
So how's Craigory doing at the moment now? Gray has calmed the beast down and is going towards their stuff on the shore. But Gray looks absolutely. He steals a glance at Craigory, and he's absolutely proud.
So
He's grinning from ear to ear.
you're, it's fine. Your shirts. I assume this is some sort of ranger thing. This is good.
Well, I mean, yeah. So, I talked with it as much as you can talk with beasts like that. But, it seems really lonely in this lake. So I asked if it wanted to, come with me, and it it's currently looking at Nibbles and the bird I still need to name.
And he immediately goes into thought because he wants to name this bird. He doesn't like not calling it anything. He doesn't just want to call it bird.
I think at the mention of the sea serpent having to look at Bird and Nibbles, there's like a big huff of air as the legally not Gyarados just like blows a puff at the not Starly, sending it tumbling through the air, just sort of like they're kind of playing. They're playing, they're bonding.
Bird definitely starts circling around. They were honestly a lot more spooked than Nibbles was. They're new here. But it comes over and it's sort of circling around. It doesn't really want to attack. Nibbles told it not to, honestly speaking.
Sea serpent is blowing
But-
puffs of air at it as it circles, just trying to like catch it.
And Nibbles kind of rushes up, playfully headbutts its stomach instead of like an actual attack. Like it's, you know. Bonk.
Tail reaches up and just splashes a wave on shore over Nibbles. Okay, wow, okay, they seem to be getting along. That's good.
Yeah.
Gray's super excited. But he's leaving them be. But
Okay, so what is your plans for a giant sea serpent? Can it leave the lake?
Should be able to. See the way its stomach plating is? It can crawl on the ground a little bit.
Okay, so kind of snake.
Kinda snaky. Swims much faster, but kinda snaky.
Okay, well, as long as it doesn't eat me and it's not going to eat you, then good, good. I think Craigory looks at his hands. I never clarified whether he actually got any of the things. So I'm gonna roll a d2 to see if he actually did.
nice.
Yay! In his hand, in his fully inked hand, there is in fact a fistful.
Nice.
Oh, Weenie just goes, oh wow, okay, I totally forgot. Cool, I don't have to go down there again.
I mean, if you want more, you can always, grab onto a fin.
Maybe. He's not convinced.
Are
Hey
you sure you don't
Gray.
want more?
Hey Gray, you want to do another perception?
Oh boy. I have to check the mod. What is it? I keep forgetting his mod. Another 11.
Huh. You know, the water around you two seems kind of oddly gray. It just...
Hey, Mr. Craigory,
Uh-huh.
you know what this in the water is?
looks down. Oh, yeah. Ah, crap. Sorry. He immediately kicks out further away from Gray. Sorry. Shouldn't have gotten so close.
What is it? What is it?
It's fine, just a little leakage. Holds up the right hand. Can see that the cloth glove is it's very droopy. And there is a very slow drip of gray ink coming out of the wrist.
Gray's immediately kind of.
Huh? Ah.
He's immediately like. There's a lot of thoughts floating around his head at the moment, and the main ones are, shouldn't you get that checked out? And if you knew it was injured in that way, why would you go swimming and exacerbate? And so what that comes out as him saying is, God,
Maybe you should get back to shore.
Yeah, probably. And, actually, he looks at the Whedon's hand. One more dive. And just immediately goes back under.
Hey!
I think of that, because the beast bond is still active, Gray is able to call over the sea serpent, which immediately comes over. And they communicate, hey, we're going down there, we're grabbing the other guy and taking him back to the shoreline. And with a swim speed of 50 feet, Gray grabs on to one of its back fins. I'm assuming they catch up to Craigory.
Yeah, sure do. How would you like Sea Serpent to catch this wizard? Like, with its mouth?
No, I was gonna just have, like, Gray, like, grab Craigory's hand,
Okay.
like, twirl him in the water and kind of, like, lodge him in one of the, notches in one of the back fins.
Okay.
So, like, the serpent is helping, like, as it swims around, like, it almost scoops Craigory up.
Okay.
And they swim back to the surface, towards the shoreline, and, it tilts over, and Craigory just kind of plops onto the ground.
Yeah. Splash. Just like,
If you're injured, don't go again.
What?
I can get you more.
it's fine, it's
It's not fine.
just like this.
Why would you say it's fine?
Because it's well, okay, it's not always been like this, but like you saw it how it happened, but point is, that's just how it is. It's not a dangerous one. Like, I'd have to be in the water for probably at least a day for it to be a problem. So a few hours isn't going to
You're
hurt
still
me.
exacerbating an issue. If you have a giant gash in your leg, you wouldn't go run a marathon. Even if it had stitches in it. You can break the stitching.
Okay, but I also know that I recently spent most of a night in the water. It was fine. So yeah, again, a couple hours wasn't going to hurt.
Nibbles is chewing on Craigory's good hand.
Hey, ah. Just yanks head, just like, okay, I thought you were past the teething, Nibbles.
Did,
But
Does
fine.
Craigory, move closer to shore?
Uh,
Does he try to get back in the water?
Nah, he'll move closer to shore. Gray's kicking up a stink, and he has enough of what he came for. He's just into the hammer space behind the back.
If you sure Craigory's gonna stay on land, Gray is going to use his, the sea serpent, he's going to dive under. Again, probably much faster than Craigory would.
Yeah.
And after, just a little bit of being under, Gray comes back up with, a bunch of the same plant. And the sea serpent probably also grabbed some in its mouth and just kind of spits it out at Craigory's feet, which is a lot. It's a big creature.
Yeah. It's just like, thanks.
Is that enough?
Yep, that's plenty.
Good. Now you don't have to go back in the water.
Yep, alright. I
This is
won't.
what I need for dependency. You don't get even further injured.
Alright, okay, you have a point. Just, does the crossed heart hope to die? I promise he won't go back in. But, yeah. I'll hang out here and dry out, but if you want to continue playing around in there, go for it. We got the whole day.
All right. Not for long though.
And I do want to say that Nibbles is using a bit of now that you've noticed, Nibbles was like still half chewing on Craigory, but because he's got the fire breath, it's actually drying Craigory out.
Well, then, alright.
The fire doesn't hurt, but like he's not actually spitting the fire, but because it's warm in there.
Craigory just lets himself be chewed.
So that's what Nibbles is doing.
Hey, would Nibbles like to... I don't know what Nibbles roll for his perception.
Okay. What do you roll when you're biting someone?
It's just like, it's noticing something as Nibbles is just gnawing on him.
I guess perception via taste? I have to pull the Drake companion stat block. Give me a second. What is your perception? Wisdom is a +2. I don't proficient. No. That's a 4. We gotta add that to 4.
Nibbles notices absolutely nothing strange about the texture of Craigory's skin or body at all. Absolutely nothing here.
I mean, that tracks.
No thoughts, head empty, nothing strange going on.
As for Gray, he's in the lake, of course, but actually not for quite as long because what he's doing, it's beast spawn, so it's telepathic, so technically he doesn't do it say anything. But he's going around the lake, talking with them,
Communing.
It's mentioned they'll agree. They can even come back here at some point if they want. Just that kind of, it's a leaving home thing, letting them one last look around and at that point, Gray lets himself be dropped back off. Well, one more thing they do is you've seen Avatar, right?
Yes.
You know the thing where Aang's surfing on the back of the Unagi eel?
Yes.
Gray does that up the waterfall.
Excellent.
Just learns waterfall. It can swim up the waterfall if it wants. So Gray does that for a bit. But he does let himself get dropped back at shore. Because if Gray can't get on the water, it'd be rude to keep playing out there. But for as long as they're at the lake, the serpent stays in.
Mm-hmm. And if they're gearing up to leave, then said serpent will follow, which could be interesting depending where Gray goes from here.
Yeah.
It's just a giant sea serpent following him now.
Yep. It kind of crawls along the ground. Less snaky. You see that more of how an inchworm moves almost? It kind of does that, where its back is arched. Now that it's on land, you can see exactly how long it is, which is interesting. Yeah. tip to tail, a Gyarados is 6.5 meters or 21 feet 4 inches.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh, that's actually smaller than I thought. Still big.
Still big.
Big boy.
But yeah. At least for Craigory, especially for Toon things. Still a decently big serpent.
Yeah. Yeah. I think Nibbles has also inadvertently helped like dry out all the plant stuffs that Craigory ended up gathering, which, hey, expedites the
Bonus.
process. That's all in his hammer space. If Gray's back, putting like his shoes back on.
Yeah. Gray's using Produce Flame, which is a cantrip to dry himself off. Help out. Little fun.
Yeah.
And at the end of it, Gray pulls the bird over and pats them, thanks them for keeping their stuff all right. He stares him down, and I wasn't sure if this is me, like, playing, I wasn't sure if I should name them this, but I decided I would. Immediately, he stares down the Starly, and
Zephyr.
and
I'll name you Zephyr.
the bird seems to perk up at that, and it
Aw.
seems excited.
Nice.
It likes him.
Hey, it's a good
Fast
name.
win.
Hey, it's a good name. Thanks. Yeah, thanks for coming out here. Sorry, I kind of snapped at
What
you.
do you have to apologize for?
I kind of
Really?
got shirty with you earlier, Gray. And that was unfair. You were just
Man.
pointing out stuff, and a lot of things lately have just been reminding me of old stuff, and that was one of them. So I got a little grumpy, and that's not on you, so I am sorry. But thanks.
Alright. Accept, I guess.
Yeah, see? There you go. Pat on the back, and away they start going. Is there anything else you'd like to do before wrap up?
One last thing is that he goes to the Gyarados, and their name is Scarlet now. That's what he's going to
Hey,
call it.
nice. Nibbles, Zephyr, and Scarlet.
Yep. At the moment, anyway.
Soon to grow.
Yeah.
Woohoo. All right.
A
I
lake
think
buddy obtained. Craigory got yelled at by a 12-year-old again. This keeps happening.
It'll keep happening as long as he keeps on saying stuff that's yell-worthy.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for joining me on this adventure, Jazz.
It was glorious.
Mm-hmm.
Also, thanks to folks for tuning in as well.
All right.
And hello. With that, stop the recording.
Yep. Bye, everyone.
Bye!